My friends, welcome. Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 126, November 30, 2014. Good news, friends, our brother is back to his post here in his fleet on the planet. The sister, who he called Ticey, is fine, had the leg regenerated with a type of technology that plays all original functions from stem cells and of the gene containing all the information from the original body formation. Not scars will stay. In another 4 weeks she will be back to their duties as well as before. She had never hurt this traumatic way, and the pain she felt will take a while to be partially forgotten with time. She said that on the one hand was good for her to have a better idea of the intensity of pain when performing their service work in large-scale accidents. It was a lucky rescue has arrived before she lost more than 50 of vital fluids, but she was lucky. Friends, on November 17, 2014 ICB publicized this notice on Mythy's site chat page. Friends, yesterday after reading the considerations that began swirling on the internet about Rosetta mission, I managed to communicate with Mythy and asked if he could do me a favor and check out what really happened, and he successfully contacted the mining unit on the asteroid 67P, which is an asteroid and not a comet, as has been erroneously called. The answer was as follows. We note the passing of an artificial object, to an average of 15,000 kilometers abeam of our unit, but it did not make any maneuver to orbit this asteroid, nor released any object on the surface, just passed and disappeared into space. That was the answer, so any mention, picture or information otherwise is outright lie. The mission of 10 years and $1 billion failed miserably. This spacecraft is dead right now. They could not fire the jets to redirect her after 10 years inactive. She traveled there by inertia without using engine because vacuum have no friction, only with an EPI or beyond, sending signals from time to time. The equipment aged with the bombardment of cosmic radiation and the mission failed invariably. Nothing to report. They are doing this theater because if you say you failed is simply admitting incompetence, you say it got there but an unforeseen happened is something else. Only theater to justify a partial success never happened. But happened another intriguing fact. Today after his return I showed a picture of the asteroid 67P to him and he said that is not the object in question. I asked what was wrong, he said everything. The asteroid that travels on the route described for the object does not have this format and not this appearance, only the ratio can be approximated. According to him the shape resembles a large pear. We can thus come to the conclusion that everything was a great deceit. About the object passed a 15,000 km away sighted by miners working in the asteroid seemed an old beacon that emitted a signal route as used on the routes of old generations of transport spacecraft, prior to CG portals in this region, and did not seem to have come from the planet Earth. By the angle of passage, it was of a different origin. Mythy is saddened by the sequence of disappointments we have been through, but facts are facts, no matter who it hurts. Now, questions from various emails with same subject asked many times. Mythy, is it really possible to enter a black hole without dying? And if so, what would we see? This possibility exists, but it is an experience unlikely to be effective. There are black holes, as you guys call, that suck in others who pump energy, depending on the pressure of quantum expansion in specific regions of each of the related universes. Black holes are as exhaust valves between two or more three-dimensional universes, no power communications between third and fourth dimension because the materials and energies involved are not the same. The activity of black holes generate the aggregation or disaggregation of celestial bodies are responsible for the formation of galaxies, expansion or retraction, depending on the direction of energy flow involved generating more or less force of regional gravity. The trip through a black hole involves immeasurable gravitational forces. The speed of quantum particles mixed with gases and other physical materials generate an extraordinary energetic field beyond the compression of friction. This makes it virtually impossible to create an insulating force field to protect a spacecraft. But assuming you pass successfully through a black hole, sucking would be a trip of no return. You would have to find a black hole in the opposite direction to be able to return one day. And what you would see would be an old galaxy, or a new one in formation, to which that black hole belongs, about the same as you see here, galaxies and more galaxies. Mithy, you know what the tree of life mean? Everyone gave me different answers. I want to know what you think it is. The tree of life is a symbolic and conceptual idea of the existing connection to everything that was created in this third dimension. The meaning is simple: everything is interconnected. From mineral to light, the grain of sand of the atom that surrounds and sustains the root to the leaves that turn all chemically by the force of light. This perfect connection shows the interdependence of all with each and all with all that exists and survives in our universe. Life to reach the light needs all that sustains it until they grow leaves that absorb light energy and thus can multiply the process throughout the universe. Mithy, if there is a third world war, which likely scenario will be for us? You see, first you guys have to take into account that the Pleiadians under the command of CG will try all possible solutions so that there is a conflict of large proportions, but in my opinion as a scientist in this area, any conflicts that there will be a result of political manipulation. The opposite group and excluded to currently elites in monetary control is with the best cards in the game of power. If something happens at a global level, you guys will be under new direction and the current elites shall be significantly removed from the board. If this happens, dissident groups of these elites will keep the regions in total chaos for the new direction only to find problems, and where to find solutions to regional levels. When this power cord starts, the world economy will stop and you guys need to be prepared to survive independent of the state and regionally isolated during the period it lasts. Mithy, do you as a physical beings need sleep, and if yes, how long do you need to sleep? Why do we need to sleep after all? Yes, we slept too, but are actually pillows for neurons to recover and reintroduce in the system as much phosphorus as other elements required for the next journey of activity. We need an hour's rest every 12 hours of you. This is ideal for our metabolism. You will also need less sleep when you are living more balanced. Anyway, the babies sleep more than adults. Mithy, and on changes in and off planet? What can we expect later this year? Well, by the movement that is happening, the crew lines exercising enormous force fields to neutralize not only radiation but also to create low gravity points in the system, it may be that the CG has decided for the new and final orbits of Taos. The photo that the CB showed me, a large object behind Saturn, was just a reflection of one of these crew lines' force fields projected that way, to be the planet Saturn in orbital diagonal angle to this force field when this image was possibly captured by a telescope from the Earth's surface. On the surface, the planet is closer to move the crust to complete the planned expansion. When Taos is positioned, will be taken out the counterweight which is in the south quadrant of planet Earth, and that will position its new angle of the axis of rotation according to the new distribution of surface weight. The volcanic activity will tend to gradually increase until all pressure can perform the physical alteration work of the crust. Be prepared to climate events that will take place regionally and be on the alert to everything that your rulers are doing, as we have already commented often about. We are aware. Regarding the bases being built that you quoted, you could give an idea of how many people could be housed in these units globally? These numbers are known to the Arcturians and teams assigned by chem, which are also underground exploration experts and transferred enough equipment to work together with the Arcturians. I believe that the bases can be enlarged every time should the need arise, but the CG must have a close estimate of what you may need in terms of physical space. I estimate 1 billion if necessary, but I am not the owner of these numbers. Such shelters can be used to accommodate communities that cannot survive in their regions, as in the case of submerged regions, but many regions may subsist without necessarily having to go to shelters. We will be here, and you guys can always count on our help when permitted. I am plenty to catch up on, so, be well all of you.